What is pride? The dictionary defines it as a consciousness of one's own dignity. As such, we may assume that pride is assigned to ourselves based on things such as past accomplishments and facts. However, it can be seen that while some of society's most successful people are humble, there are those in the opposing spectrum that are equally as overconfident. Through viewing this, we may start to see how pride is not something a person necessarily allocates to themselves based on logic. When comparing this understanding of vanity to Shakespeare's Othello, one may determine how the character's infatuation with their own self-image causes them to betray their better judgment, resulting in their tragic and lonesome endings. Let's go back to 2016, a year in which people did not feverishly buy toilet paper from their surrounding superstores and Drake's One Dance topped the Billboard charts. I was in grade 6 at the time, and one day while playing outside during school recess, a friend of mine jumped off the side rail of a school portable to the praise of my fellow classmates. Not wanting to be outdone, I decided to jump as well in spite of the fact that there was a good chance I would get hurt doing so. I was confident in my ability to perform the maneuver as I'd seen superheroes in movies do things that were much more dangerous. And so, I jumped. I was soon after taken to the school office to heal the nasty cut I had in my leg. So why tell you this story? It is because this action I took wasn't a logical one that I did to preserve my pride, and it was due to this poor choice that I suffered. This course of action may directly reflect Othello's story as a character. Othello has a jealousy of Cassio that stems from his hubris of wanting to protect his image. This can be best seen after Othello eavesdrops on Cassio and Iago's conversation and states, "Hang her! I do but say what she is, so delicate with her needle, an admirable musician." Othello is so caught up in the potential thought of his wife's infidelity that he rejects the common sense of him asking her about it despite their previously established great relationship. Othello assumes this because the damage that her actions could cause to his Venetian status would infringe on his almighty pride, a risk that he is appalled to even think about. It is this convoluted thought process that Othello goes through that results in him murdering Desdemona, realizing soon after that he sacrificed what he loved for the simple recognition of others. His inability to understand these consequences before acting may allow us to see that his value of personal appearance blinded him into making a decision that resulted in tragedy. This sentiment is reflected in an article entitled Othello, One Unperfectness Shows Me Another, published by Shakespeare in this. The piece states that the prideful, possessive nature and vanity of Othello are the real causes of the tragedy in a play, evident through Othello's ability to so easily follow Iago's corruptive suggestions. Othello's willingness to do such heinous actions in order to protect his image is what ultimately serves as his fatal flaw. However, he is not the only person in the story whose great pride causes them to experience a downfall. In a piece published by Sam Wood, Iago is painted as a character that feels inner loneliness and prides himself on his appearance. He argues that this is because Iago truly has nothing other than his political position, as all the relationships he forms are fake. This caused him to take extreme pride in defending his right as lieutenant, deceiving his otherwise worthless companions in order to protect it. In contrast to Othello, it is Iago's loneliness that leads into pride, and not vice versa. After being captured at the end of the play, Iago states, "Demand me nothing. What you know, you know. From this time forth, I will never speak word." The man who relied so heavily on his speech now vows to not speak again due to him losing his image as a reputable and honest man. All Iago is left with is himself, a person that he finds no joy in being without something or someone to assign him value. He is simply a husk who's lost everything. Is it safe to assume that this isn't a story about humility and fortune? The characters of Iago and Othello both display how the emotions of solitude and pride incite one another, causing great loss to occur. Whether it be Cassio's dedication to retrieve his position of lieutenant, Desdemona's faith in the still good Othello, or Roderigo's belief in his right to Desdemona's love, it doesn't matter where you look. Pride, loneliness, and tragedy come as a package deal regardless of the magnitude of each emotion, and the application of this concept is readily available throughout Shakespeare's Othello. So, what is pride? The answer is not straightforward, as it can be as objective as the value of pride itself. But through reviewing the actions of the characters previously analyzed, it may be determined that one's inability to accept themselves causes them to wear a mask that hides their flaws from the rest of the world, resulting in them fighting a personal battle that they cannot win on their own. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk, and I hope you may value what I have said.